Welcome, 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 everybody. It is Sunday, June 7th, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, or whatever time it happens to be where you are because you are watching us right now. It is time every Sunday for Master's Mind. We're really glad to have you with us. It's a great way to end the previous week and start the new week with a beautiful message from our masters of unlimited wisdom. And so we appreciate the fact that you are here. Sit back, relax, take a listen, take notes, enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Terry and Robert Hollis.
Craig, thank you so much. Hostess with the mostest. I appreciate you so much. And hello, Scott. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Star. Melody. Hello, Eric. And Coach Bob and Sandy. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining me, my love. Great to have you on here. So on the Master's Mind, today I just wanted to cover this whole concept. I know people, when we hear the name of it, we immediately go, not that, which is basically just patience. Just bottom line to be in a position to constantly be asking for not only patience, but also thanks for jumping on, Dustin, Arthur. But, one of the things you'll notice in the stories about anything that has to do with virtually everything, the hero's journey, there's always this talk about it just takes time for things to grow. And one of those great, great, great stories about things growing is I don't know how many of you guys have heard the story of bamboo. And you can really look it up because when people hear the story of bamboo and how it grows, it just almost makes like zero sense. It's like I always love stories that have to do with when people hear them, they go, I don't believe that story's true. And so if you look up and Google or anything about bamboo, it basically when you plant it, the amount of care that you have to put in to the ground and how much you have to water it is pretty insane. But you usually don't see anything from planting bamboo for 5 years.
Wow.
So can you imagine planting seeds, doing whatever you do to take care of them, make sure they got sunlight, make sure that they've got plenty of water, and nothing the first year, nothing the second year, nothing the third year, nothing the fourth year. And then listen to this, because again, like a lot of great stories, this will be hard to believe. But sometime in its fifth year, it'll grow 80 feet in the fifth year. So when all of a sudden you see a bamboo stalk grow 80 feet in the last year, that it's like, no, that's like a BS story. That's not really, really, really true. But if you really notice a lot of stuff about anything in life, it's always this same thing that you hear where you need, 10,000 hours of mastery. And then all of a sudden you blink and one day it's like it's effortless for you when it seems like it was like just a lot of hard work. And when I think of that, I wanted to bring that up to you guys because we see people that seem to have their belief not only in manifestation, but also prayer and their faith. It seems like they just, it's just effortless for them. But none of us ever get to see the behind the scenes. None of us get to see, how much time they dedicated to meditating, how much time they dedicated to prayer, how much time they dedicated to, praying and reading the Bible. So it's like all of a sudden, when people see people that have that kind of faith and they can make things happen very, very quickly, what a lot of us do is they go, why does it happen so fast for them, but it doesn't happen for me? So again, if we use the whole parable of exactly like the bamboo, a lot of people go, okay, so I see that they got, and then think about if you were planting bamboo, right? If you really believed it and had faith in it and also got someone that showed you how to do it, would you also plant, because you know that you're harvesting your fifth or sixth year, right? So how many people do you think would plant a lot of bamboo on their first year? And then would they just watch it on the second year? Or do you think they would plant more bamboo on the second year?
I'll plant more.
See, doesn't this make sense? So think about your family and friends and even your mental state where, like build it and they will come, the field of dreams. So now all of a sudden you plant all of this stuff and you don't see it. Nobody sees it. Your family doesn't see it. So then what do? The next year you plant more bamboo. The third year, you plant more bamboo. The fourth year, you plant more bamboo. And people are like, what are you doing? You got no harvest. You got nothing. You got no money back. You haven't made any money on the first year that you planted. And so then you did another year and another year and another year.
Oh, year 5. Boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop,
So
boop.
now all of a sudden you're harvesting on your fifth year.
Yeah.
And people are going like, oh my God, this would be a great time to do it. Now it seems so simple for you. You know what I mean? I can't believe you're making so much money. But then they don't know how you doubled your money your second year. Because your second year of harvesting was also your second year of planting 5 years ago. Are you guys catching what I'm saying? And it's like, what does Eric say all the time? Are you getting what I'm laying down? Eric Markman. You hear what I'm saying? And so, but this concept is very, very, very difficult for people that are short-term thinkers. And unfortunately, the short-term thinker thing turned into TikTok videos. And now what we do is we have people all over the world that they want instant gratification. We watch people that actually stand in line, or now I guess it would be to drive-through, right? But they're in drive-through and they're like watching someone look at a McDonald's menu and they go, listen, you already know what's on a McDonald's menu. By the time you get to the window, you should know what you want to order, right? But how many people have seen people get impatient with people? And you're at a fast food restaurant, right? It is like, come on, you know what I mean? I want to get this food right away. So one of the things is if you read stories in the Bible, of course, people know the old stories in the Old Testament, the Torah. It's like when people hear, well, listen, once the Jews were got away from Egypt, it's like, how long did they wait? 40 years. So there was probably a lot of confusion, a lot of complaining, a lot of, oh, woe is me. Why is this taking so long? And I heard this phrase. This will blow you guys away. The reason that it took so long is because God knew that he had to get rid of a whole generation to change the future. Sometimes there's just a whole generation of people that were slaves. And because they were a generation of slaves, even though they went into the wilderness and they could have easily went out and been very prosperous, they still had a slave mentality. Isn't that crazy? And so you had to wait 40 years to have a generation that were excited about seeing the promised land. Because if that generation just got to the promised land, they would have did nothing about complain about the promised land. because that's what we do all day. We just complain. And so the stories of King David, all the stories that you see in the Bible, it is very, very interesting that they all just took a little bit of time. But if you really, really think about it, how long is 5 years and compared to our lives? It's pretty darn quick, isn't it? And I always heard this thing that the older you get, the faster time moves. Um, I know that sounds logically impossible, but I'm seeing it live time. You know what I mean? It's like, and here's the thing. I'm not much of a complainer. So if time is moving fast, for me, that's a good thing. Are you guys following me? So if I'm getting harvest on everything that I've done my entire life and all the seeds that I've planted and me being consistent on doing that. Hey, Matt, thanks a lot for getting on. Hi, Faith. Hi, Deborah. I don't want to miss anybody. Deborah Grady, Jim. I think I didn't say hi to Jim, Sarah. But that's one of those key things is when you're imagining a better future for you and your family, it's again just constant thinking that your thoughts of wow, this is taking too long, is one of those thoughts that you just should be going, no, I'm excited. I'm more excited now for what I'm going to see. So I'll give you guys a neat example of the way that I've been doing business, So since I started doing this stuff 37 years ago, 39, whatever it is, it's neat to watch my son now do, posting pilot because I think about all the people that I fed into, that I planted seeds, that I did my best to help them, with their heart space and their head space, and also with their, connection with God. I've been doing this seed planting my whole life. And when I look at Posting Pilot and it being a way to be able to help them, because we talked about this whole concept of, the future of what AI is going to do. And the one thing that AI cannot take away is our ability to connect with another human being, but also be creative in doing so. And so now when you're having fun all day creating and sharing things with people that have a short attention span, it's like, for me, I'm like going, wow, is this all just coming together at perfect timing? It really, truly is. And Deborah has felt like that for years as well. And so I really, really don't have any other thing to say to this other than is if you could stay excited, again, to stay motivated and stay excited, what I know that Matt's going to do, where tomorrow's going to be the launching day, which is going to be pretty incredible. And Matt's got a lot of stuff. So, for those of you that do pray and do put out thoughts, just continue to pray and pray thoughts that as we launch, Posting Pilot, that everything goes great. And then what everyone gets to do is constantly watch Matthew and all of us that have creative mind create things that when people see them, they're just in awe of them. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sure Matt didn't share this with anybody yet. Let me see. Matt, are you there? It's like,
Yeah, he's on board.
I was going to see. Okay, I'll show you guys this. Can you guys see it?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay.
Can't run in those damn shoes.
What do you guys think? um, yeah, I think that's good. That's pretty crazy as far as the imagination. You know what I mean? So, the seas are about ready to split, and all the old marketers are going to be left behind. Don't get left behind being using old marketing tools. So I hope that really helps you guys. So I'm gonna let you go. Have a wonderful and blessed day. I love you, Faith, Matthew, Hannah, Ezra, Deborah, Scott, Shelley, Melody, Eric, Arthur, Dustin, Deborah, Jim, Sarah, Coach Bob, Sandy, and of course the hostess with the mostest, Craig Jackman. I love you, Terry. Have a wonderful and great day.
Peace out.